Well, I think the big thing is at the tight end position, you have to understand a lot of different aspects of the game. It's almost like being a quarterback, only you get hit a lot and you get to hit as well. So there's also that violence aspect that's in there as well. Not only that, but making plays. So we've got to learn how to pass protect. We've got to learn how to block in the run game. We've got to be ball carriers and also good communicators out there. I think the guys at the position group right now understand that there's an opportunity that's out there to play. And, when you've had somebody, really two players that have taken a lion's share of those reps over the last 2 seasons, everybody in the room understands that there's this opportunity to rise on the depth chart and compete for playing time.
Let's talk about that for a minute. You talk about two players that are no longer with us, Thomas Odukoya, Bryson Cannon. Everybody remembers what they meant to this Eastern Michigan offense over the past couple of seasons. Let's start with the player side of things first. A young group, you just mentioned the fight for playing time. How much is that discussed? Is that something you can tell the players feel like, hey, this year there's a chance for me to take that next step and be that guy?
Well, the best part about it is I don't have to say much. You talk about a great group of young men that are internally motivated to be the best that they can be, okay? The more input that I have on that end probably is not a positive right there, okay? They are really into making themselves better, into being a great team player, and really mastering their craft right now. My job's just to simply equip them and to guide them in that journey.
Well, let's then flip it to your job, because I know you've told me a lot in the past about what a joy it is for a coach to have somebody like Thomas Odukoya, Bryson Cannon, not only because of their skill, but they were such professionals. They had so much veteran experience when you came in with that group. Does your coaching style have to change at all with a group that is just as motivated, just as professional, but maybe doesn't have quite as much on-field experience? Is there more of a focus on some of the technique as opposed to maybe some of the scheme? Or is it, hey, these guys have been studying right behind, they've got practice, we're ready to roll?
Hey, the great thing about it is these young men have been in this program and working this whole time. So their understanding of how to do things and their understanding of the techniques and really how to compete, I don't really have to adjust that much right now. I mean, it's a great room with a lot of great workers right here. And I don't have to sit there and be completely different this time around with the group.
There's an obvious focus on the fact that the quarterback under center this year will be different than last year. Taylor Powell comes in. He's taking the lion's shares of the reps so far. As a coach watching your position group work with the quarterback, is it almost a positive thing that in a year where you have so many players that are going to be on the field for the first time, they're experiencing the new quarterback all at the same time? It's not veterans having to worry about, I've been used to playing with one guy for the last 3 years. This year, it's like everybody's learning together.
I think there's some positives to that, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is, and it really doesn't matter who the tight end is. Whoever goes out there simply has to execute and compete and do that at a high level. So, part of that is maybe there's new faces. Doesn't matter. Bottom line is September 2nd's coming up. We got to get ourselves ready, and it's been a great couple of days so far in that preparation.
What are some names in your tight end group that Eastern Michigan fans should start looking at when they're looking over the roster?
Take a look at them all on that right there, okay? You've got Gunnar Oaks, it's a senior right now, done a great job preparing himself, had a good number of snaps this past season in spelling for Bryson Cannon with his injury. Andreas Paskey's had a great offseason, made a lot of gains. Jerry Getzinger is one of the most physical guys on this team. Does things always the right way. You've got Aaron Jackson with a ton of ability and has really started to put things together from a physical standpoint as well. So that part's been a real positive as well. Cole Rusk is a young player, and Evan Furtney, both of those young guys have been rising through the ranks on that, doing a phenomenal job in preparing themselves. And then with the newcomers in here with Max Reese, really done a great job this summer, has been highly professional with how he's approached this game.
Guys like me talk about football. Guys like you understand football.
That's arguable. Ask my family right there.
One thing that we've known, though, over the last couple of years is, man, it's been valuable to have the 1-2 punch of a guy like Thomas Odukoya, who was elite blocking, and then you could sub in a guy like Bryson, who was an elite pass catcher. How much of a weapon is it when you just describe the room you have? It sounds like you have some pieces like that again, where Everybody's got different strengths. As a position coach, is it a dream come true to have guys that are all skilled but have different areas of, hey, if I know our game plan is focusing on X, I can plug this guy in. If we're focusing on Y, I can plug this game plan in. How much does that open up the offense for you?
Well, as a coach, I'm fully confident that any of those young men with the repetitions and a little bit of time can step in there and play.
We'll get you out of here on these last couple. First off, we're getting towards the end of the first week of camp. There's no doubt about the energy that everybody has out here. You've gone through a lot of these in your career. As you start to get into that week 2, week 3, how do you as a coach have to adjust to make sure that the energy is still there, but the focus on staying healthy, going a slow build towards that first game is what you guys are focused on?
Well, I think if you're an emotional surfer, that's probably not a positive. This game as a coach and as a leader, if you're riding the waves of emotion and how you're feeling every single day, you're going to wipe out at some point in time. That's why I use that surfer analogy. The whole thing is when the alarm clock goes off early in the morning, it's don't hit the snooze. It's get up. It's approach the day the exact same way. And understand that every single day is a building process right there. And some days are going to be a little bit more productive than others, but it's building on the positives, the plays that are made, the good blocks that are done, and then correcting the areas that need to be corrected. And it's a build. It's a slow build. It's not something that happens overnight, and it's not something that's just going to happen in a blaze of glory one day.
Last thing for you, just like the players, I know during camp it's a grind. Everybody likes when they get that off day for the first time. What's something that you and the rest of the Blaney family enjoy doing during camp when you get an off day?
First off, we're coaches, so there's not really a lot of off days. But one thing I'm looking forward to doing after 3 days of this camp, shaving.